country. And if they win this game, the Cavaliers will be very much in control in the Coastal in the ACC. Virginia won the toss. They deferred. Here we go from Hard Rock Stadium. UVA will kick off deep. Miami back to return. And Jeff Thomas is there, very dangerous in the return game. Thomas with that burst of speed across the 20. He's going to get tackled there. And the Miami offense will come on the field. And you know what time it is after kickoff. Yeah, it's Clark after kick. Let's go down to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, times have changed for Virginia football. In 2016, Bronco Mendenhall's first year, they were 2-10. The freshmen on that team are now seniors, and this program is changing. A smart group of players and ultra confident. They might be underdogs tonight in South Florida, but players in a non-cocky way expect to win and remain the only unbeaten team in the ACC Coastal.
Give it a little time. Park after kick. That's going to catch on. Running play, first play from scrimmage for the Hurricanes. DJ Dallas, who is a good player in the backfield, took the handoff from N'Kosi Perry. Gets his first start of the year. He started 6 games last year, so it's not like he doesn't have experience, and he does have talent.
Yeah, and what he brings to the table is he brings that dual threat aspect, that aspect of once he gets outside the pocket, he is a dangerous runner and passer, and that's something they're going to need given some of the struggles they've had on their offensive line.
So 2nd and 8 for the Hurricanes, just desperate for a better start this week. Perry hits his tight end out on the right flat, and another really talented player, Brevin Jordan, cut it upfield and gets the first down of the night.
Look, Brevin is one of those players who once you get the ball in his hands, he just turns into a running back quickly, and it's going to be imperative. Very important tonight for Virginia to tackle well in the secondary. It's something that they have struggled with. It's something they have emphasized this week, and Brevin Jordan can make you look bad if your fundamentals aren't squared away.
We saw those big numbers his week last week against the Hokies. 13-yard reception for the first down. DJ Dallas all alone in the backfield, and Perry is going to give the ball to Dallas. He gets tackled from behind. There was no running room whatsoever. Noah Taylor with the tackle for a loss from his linebacker spot. A huge question, Lewis, for Miami is, can their offensive line hold up?
Yeah, it is a big question. And when you run these outside zone runs and you don't block the backside pursuit player, a guy like Noah Taylor is just going to run things down from behind. And DJ Dallas isn't going to be able to get going. They're going to have to adjust that, get him going north and south much quicker, as you can see.
Yeah, I mean, that might determine the story and the arc of this game, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Virginia pressures the quarterback. Miami cannot protect the quarterback. That is a mismatch on paper coming in. Perry had a little time there, and he throws deep. An adjustment by his receiver, and the catch for a nice gain. That's KJ Osborne.
And what he ran was a little double move out there against Nick Grant, and that's exactly what they need to do to create some separation in one-on-one situations. And you know what, if N'Kosi Perry can get some time, which he does, and the pocket's clean, he can put it back there, back shoulder. It's a little bit underthrown, the toughest type of pass for a defensive back to defend against. And you see there Nick Grant, didn't have good eyes on the football, it's a big chunk play.
By the standards of Miami's pass protection this year, that was squeaky clean.
That's about as good as it gets.
At the end of the play. So the 27-yard gain into Virginia territory for the first time. The quick release and a nice delivery. That's Jeff Thomas with his speed for a gain of close to 9. Bryce Hall, who might be the best cover guy in the ACC, with the coverage there.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice matchup to watch whenever Jeff Thomas and Bryce Hall are going against one another. Because Jeff Thomas, folks, is electric. This guy has got long speed, the kind of speed that can absolutely flip a game on its head in a minute. And Bryce Hall's one of the best in the NFL. In college football, he's going to be in the NFL very soon.
Yes, he is. They actually gave Jeff Thomas forward progress for a first down. Perry under center, play fake, and then immediately pressured. He got away to the end zone, and it's incomplete. And I couldn't tell if Thomas got his hands on that and just dropped it, or if it was tipped away by Nick Grant. That had a chance to be a touchdown. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Absolutely. Look, that's where you see N'Kosi Perry again, escaping and buying time in the pocket. That's a nice route there by Jeff Thomas. But I'll tell you what, it's a nice recovery by Nick Grant as well. The ball's a little bit underthrown. Nick has to finish on that and give his offense a chance to then take the ball down the field the opposite way. If you can't finish on plays like that, those are the plays that come back to haunt you. But it's great recovery by Nick Grant.
Yeah, you're right. He had a chance to pick that one off. So Thomas will come off the field for 2nd and 10. N'Kosi Perry throwing the ball well on the first drive of the game. Now he's going to take off and run. He made one tackler miss, but not a second. He gets down to the 25, a gain of about 3. Jordan Mack with the tackle.
And now we've got a situation where Virginia really goes to work because they're so multiple in terms of the looks they can give you out of their sub packages, meaning when they bring 5 defensive backs on the field, they've got all these long 6'4", 6'5" outside linebackers. They got a bunch of inside linebackers, two mainly, Jordan Mack and Zane Zandier, who really get after the passer. Now's where they can get creative.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 3rd and 7. Miami has not been a good 3rd down team at all. The pressure comes quickly. The throw was a little high. The tackle was immediate, and there was no gain on the play for the Hurricanes.
What a great job of recognition right there by Noah Taylor as far as stopping his rush, understanding that a wide receiver screen was coming, and then just getting out on the flank in pursuit and making the tackle. That's exactly how you draw it up. Bronco Mendenhall has to be pleased by that right here. Now you have a situation here where maybe you're going for it on 4th down.
I think they are. You know, among all the issues that Miami has had, and they've had a lot of issues, the place kicking has been awful. And they do not trust their field goal kicking game, so within borderline range, but they're going for it on 4th and 7. Bring the tight end in motion. Perry is looking in that direction. Now he's flushed, and he's going to try to run for it. Perry with the speed to get the 1st down.
That's exactly what the coaching staff wanted out of N'Kosi Perry. When it's not there, when Virginia does a good job of playing man-to-man coverage on the outside, just pick up the 1st down with your legs and give us a fresh set of downs to go to work. N'Kosi, you see him just break contain, no fear at all, very calm, very collected, waving to the crowd. Let's get it going. Let's see if we can punch this in here now.
Well, already it looks like a better start for Miami, but can they finish the drive? It's 1st and 10 from the Virginia 15. Perry under center will give the ball to DJ Dallas, who gets tackled from behind. Charles Snowden this time, the 2nd tackle for loss on this drive. He is a fascinating player.
I'll tell you this again. You saw them try to run right. Now they're going to try and run left and not block the backside defender. And those slow-hitting outside zone runs, when you got guys like Virginia has that can just absolutely fly off the backside, you're asking for tackles for loss. You're asking for negative plays. So you better get going north and south with DJ Dalton, which is where he's best anyway.
Yeah, Charles Snowden, even though he is 6'7", a really good basketball player in high school, he was late to football. He has blossomed into a big-time talent on this side of the ball for Virginia. 2nd down, play fake, pressure immediately, and a screen set up. It's Dallas with blockers inside the 10. Touchdown, Miami!
That's a tremendous play call on 2nd and long. It's a typical down and distance where you run screen plays, and you see it right here. They set it up perfectly out here on the perimeter. They get blockers downfield, and DJ Dallas does the rest. And again, tackling. It's something that's been haunting Virginia. It's something they have to clean up. And if you don't wrap up DJ Dallas in the open field, it's over.
So Bubba Baxa, well, Bubba Baxa, I don't think that's Bubba Baxa who's kicking. This kick is up and good. So they may have made a change at the kicker spot with Miami. That's Turner Davidson who kicked that one through. But this was a big-time call and a big-time play and a great start for Miami. What a difference a week makes. The Hurricanes up 7-0.
Whatever works. You see them right there. They're hopping up and down. They're jumping. They're feeling good. This is the way they needed to start this game. Not from a deficit, but with a lead, because everybody feels better when you got to score up there and the other team doesn't. Let's just see how their defense responds now.
Well, they turned the ball over. They threw interceptions on their first 3 possessions. Then they started fumbling against Virginia Tech, and they were down 28-0. This week, up 7-0 over Bryce Perkins, and Virginia. Perkins will have the ball for the first time in this game. From a football family, his dad was a star at ASU, played briefly in the NFL. His uncle Don had a long NFL career. His brother Paul is currently playing for the Detroit Lions. Started his college career at ASU, went to Arizona Western College, transferred from there to Charlottesville, and he has helped the transformation of this Virginia program. There may not have been one more important player other than Bronco Mendenhall to get this UVA program turned around. He is one of the best players in the ACC. Perkins hands off on 1st down, straight ahead run for a short gain. It'll be 2nd down.
Hey, look, Bryce Perkins is going to be the focal point. He's someone that Bronco stressed to us yesterday. He's what he calls an accelerant, meaning whatever's hot, he's going to make it hotter. He's going to make everything just catch fire with his playmaking ability. He's one of the best dual-threat passer runners in college football, and if you don't think he can throw it, just watch the Notre Dame game last week and watch tonight. This kid can throw the football around, and he's going to have to tonight.
A lot of turnover issues for Virginia when they were in South Bend, but they put up some big numbers against a good Notre Dame defense. That quick hitter out to Joe Reed, who's got a lot of speed, but tripped up around the 30, so it'll be 3rd and 5. Bronco Mendenhall. A lot of people thought it was a strange fit. You know, a guy who was at BYU, had spent his whole coaching career out west, had no ties to Charlottesville or the ACC, and he has done a great job at UVA. It's his 4th year. Third and 5. Perkins with the 4-man rush is going to take off, and he goes down. Nice play, the tackle right across the line of scrimmage. That's Gregory Rousseau, who is one of their best playmakers. It'll be 4th down.
One of the keys to keeping Bryce Perkins under control is rushing with discipline and rushing with good vision. And you see right there, Gregory Rousseau does a good job stopping his rush when he gets quarterback depth, working back up in the pocket, and then just wrapping him up and putting him on the ground and sending the punt team out there for Virginia. That's textbook defensive line play. That's textbook defense. That's the start Manny Diaz wanted for his defense.
Paul Rousseau, some of his coaches do Inspector Gadget because he got such long arms, and he needed him there to get Perkins to the ground. Nash Griffin pressures on the punt, and the lefty just booms one way down the field. Now it does go out of bounds, so we'll see where it crossed that line. They're going to spot it all the way out at close to the 23. That's where the Hurricanes offense will have it for the 2nd time. Good start for the U on a beautiful night now in Miami. 7-0 Hurricanes. Already got a couple tackles and a tackle for loss. And for a big guy, you will see him out in those open spaces. He can move. Play fake. Perry steps up and throws deep. It is incomplete. On the fingertips of Mark Pope, who just could not quite pull it in. It's 2nd down.
What you're seeing is Miami has speed on the perimeter now, and this is something that really makes up the strength of their offensive football team. They have wide receivers that can really get after you. And you see right here, he just turns the safety around, attacks his leverage, and then pulls away from him. He's got to make that play. Look, N'Kosi Perry is on it right now tonight. His accuracy, his seeing the field, his confidence, they're going to produce a lot of big plays, and Virginia's going to have to respond here and tighten up some of the coverage in the back end.
Harris, the 2nd tailback, out in the right flat, but that one toward the middle, incomplete, intended for Osborne.
We were talking about Charles Snowden. One football offer was Virginia. Fascinating kid, too. I spoke to him this week. He told me he wants to work in a think tank with social justice groups and potentially down the road work on Capitol Hill.
I think he's got the stuff to do whatever he wants to do. Some of his teammates kid around and call him president. He is an impressive young man, and for UVA, he has blossomed into a heck of a football player. 3rd and 10, he's going to rush the passer, and he could not get Perry down, but he gets up, pressures him again. Perry on the move. N'Kosi Perry takes a big hit. So Snowden created all kinds of chaos. He just couldn't quite get the quarterback to the ground.
Yeah, that's what they did. Really what they did was they made N'Kosi Perry a little bit nervous here. You see, when you got free rushers coming off the edge, that's a great job of escaping out to his left, getting 2 hands on the football and trying to get his vision back down the field. But then what you see what happens is Jordan Mack takes a tremendous angle to cut him off there on the perimeter with some help there from Brenton Nelson as far as pulling him up. That's great team defense, but I can just tell you now, you already see the difference that N'Kosi Perry brings to the quarterback position for them as far as playmaking is concerned.
You know, I think it's a good point. And Pope had a chance to make the catch for a big play. If Miami does those kind of things, they're going to have some success tonight on offense. Bryce Perkins and the UVA offense back on the field when we come back. Down on the campus of the University of Miami. Virginia here up the road at Hard Rock Stadium, the home of the Hurricanes and the Miami Dolphins, and some miscommunication there, but Perkins still delivers the ball to to Joe Reed for a first down gain for the Cavaliers. One storyline, Lewis, this week was Manny Diaz, after the disaster of last week against Virginia Tech, said, I'm going to be more involved on the defensive side.
Yeah, and you see it right there. He's talking to defensive coordinator Blake Baker there in the orange shirt. And look, that's what Manny Diaz, that's what got him this job, the fact that he can coordinate defenses. So go back to your area of expertise, especially where you're needed, and lend a hand. And he's doing it tonight. His defense is responding so far.
Perkins with the tailback behind him, hands the ball off, and a nice cut by PK Kyer for a Virginia first down. The UVA running game, Lewis, has not been very potent this year.
No, not at all. And Virginia staff knows that. They know that they're struggling a little bit up front. They've had some injuries. They're trying to find a good combination of players. So any positive runs like that, 4+, 5+ yards, are a tremendous, tremendous win for them. And it just puts them in good, favorable situations. And in this case, resulted in first down.
There's casual Robert Anai, the offensive coordinator, over on the sideline. First Virginia first down of the game. Perkins almost looked like a design run, but he just had nowhere to go. In fact, he could not even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this is a situation, again, where you can tell that the Miami defensive line is really amped up for this football game and going to try and exploit what is a weakness for Virginia's football team. You see them all here rushing with good lane discipline. You see right there Michael Pinkney, or rather Shaq Quarterman, come up into the gap. And that's what they need to do. They have to cut off Bryce Perkins' escape routes and make him pull the ball down and not look downfield for receiving possession. Once they do that, now you've got him one-dimensional. Now you've got him where you want him.
Atkins is the tailback alongside Perkins for 2nd and 11. Atkins is going to catch the swing pass in the left flat and had a hard time, even without any defenders around him, staying in bounds. He got back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 10.
Offensive coordinator Robert Anai told us yesterday, look, these 3rd and 10 situations, that is not the definition of efficient football. These are the situations they want to stay out of, because everyone knows that they're a throwing team anyway. Everyone knows that the offensive line is struggling. Now this is where Manny Diaz and Blake Baker can key off on your offensive line that's struggling and really make Bryce Perkins have to really work for a first down. And you see them, they're lining up here trying to come now.
The Hurricanes showing some pressure, and it's getting loud with the play clock winding down. Virginia just gets the ball snapped in time. Here comes the pressure. Perkins takes a hit, throws into coverage, but it's completed to Joe Reed for a first down.
That has been a money combination for Virginia, and I'll tell you what, Bryce Perkins took a good hit in the pocket there with that pressure coming off of his weak side. Let's take Joe Reed. Joe Reed is on it. If you've never heard of Joe Reed, you're going to hear about him after tonight, because that is a great job of getting open here on this out route, risking the fact that you may have had the corner coming back inside and taking a big hit, or putting a big hit on you. But your quarterback here, look, even though he didn't go to the ground, taking that hit on the left shoulder, that doesn't feel good, I can assure you.
Michael Pinkney, the linebacker, was the guy who got the hit on. They rushed 6. That was a pass blitz. This one to an open man, and the first down again for Virginia inside the Miami 35. That's Tavares Kelly, the sophomore who grew up about 10 minutes from this stadium here in Miami. He is happy to be home. He's not the biggest guy on the field, but he can play a little bit.
Yeah, what they're doing right now, see, now you're seeing what efficient football looks like. Just quick throws. You know your offensive line may struggle a little bit. You don't want your quarterback hit. Quick throws, let the guys catch and run.
Well, I thought he made a nice play. His offensive coordinator
got
right in his face as he went to the sideline. Perkins on first down. More pressure from Pinkney. Perkins with that burst of speed. And he made something out of nothing there. Got down to the 30. A gain of 3 on the play for Virginia. By far their best drive. This is the second time they've had the ball. Miami took their first possession of the game, went right down the field and scored a touchdown. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. An undefeated team in Conference Virginia coming on the road against a team still looking for its first conference win. And mostly for Miami, and they need to win, but they need to play a whole lot better. Their 2 wins this year have come against Central Michigan and Bethune-Cookman. That's it. Handoff left side. And a nice little burst there from PK Kyer, who got close but stopped short of the first down.
This is what Miami's defense doesn't want to happen. They don't want Virginia to all of a sudden feel as though they can run the football on them, because now you've given Bryce Perkins exactly what he wants. Now I can turn around and hand the ball up to you, take some of the pressure off of me physically and mentally, and if the running game is going, then the play action pass game starts going, Joe Reed really gets going, and now you've got problems.
3rd and 1 with this quarterback is tough to defend. The pistol formation for Virginia with the tight end in motion. They will hand the ball off, and a spin move trying for that 1 yard. I don't know. Talapapa, who's been the top rusher, he got stopped short. They're going to spot him short. This will be a decision to make for the Cavaliers. I would imagine that they're going to let the final seconds of the first quarter tick away and then take their time and decide what they want to do. But it is definitely down 7-0, 4th and less than a yard. The Cavaliers are going for it. Miami has not stopped a 4th down on defense all year. The worst 4th down numbers of any defense in the country. Now this one's just a foot or so for Perkins, who's going to go from the shotgun on 4th and 1. And Perkins is going to hand the ball off. They're not going to get it. Gregory Russo with another terrific play.
We were sitting here talking in the break if they went for it. If you're the coaching staff for Virginia, you're worried about your offensive line not being able to pick up all the plays. And look, I'll tell you that in this situation, you'd probably be better off just go ahead and sneak in the football, because if there's anything that involves a read type of situation and is slow developing, that's what you risk having happen. And right there, look, Blake Baker, he's happy now. He's happy. They've got it going on defense.
And I've been bringing this up for years, and I'm not going to win this battle. The teams that run their offenses the way they do it the way they do it, and I understand that. But I just don't get how, when you got a big, strong quarterback like that, first down pass, knockdown, incomplete. You don't have a play in your playbook to let Bryce Perkins take the ball under center, not from shotgun, and just push it ahead for a foot.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems simple, huh? A little bit of common sense right there would tell you that's what you need to do. Sometimes offenses get stuck in their own ways. Sometimes coordinators get stuck in their own ways and get a little bit stubborn. And I'm not saying that's the case here, because they're doing what they do, but it would just make sense given the struggles of the offensive line that Virginia has had.
Yeah, that is definitely not a comment limited to Virginia. But the shotgun teams, like, you got to have a play where you can just sneak the ball ahead for a foot. DJ Dallas out close to the 30. So a great stop, the first 4th down stop for the Miami defense all season, and now it'll be 3rd down for the Hurricanes offense.
See, that looks like an insignificant play right there, where now you have a 3rd and 5 type of situation. But in a situation like that, DJ Dallas right now is making the Miami offense more efficient by having a tough, hard run like that between the tackles. Look, this is a guy in the 3 losses. He's averaged 9 yards per carry. He just hasn't had a chance to run it because they've been behind. They can play with a lead. Their team's going to play a big role in this game.
He is very talented. He gets the pitch here. Right side running. Cuts it upfield. First down. There's the burst. DJ Dallas. First down and much more for the Hurricanes.
So this is a big boy now. This is a guy who's 215 pounds, who has nice feet, who can dump that ball outside and make moves on the perimeter. Here they just pitch it to him real quick. You see him with great vision, get his shoulder pad square to the line of scrimmage, hit a second gear. But DJ, again, like I said, it's been a matter of opportunity for him, not a matter of him not being talented, because he can take it the distance. They just have to play the right way so they can be multiple as far as run and pass.
He's in the top 10 in the country in yards per carry. DJ Dallas. Play fake. Perry pressured from behind, and he almost lost the ball. I think he did a good job. Noah Taylor was right there trying for the strip sack, and Perry found a way to hang on.
Yesterday when we talked to the Virginia coaching staff, when I asked them, who is your best one-on-one outside pass rusher? Just give me one guy. That's the first guy they said, Noah Taylor. You see it right there. You see those long arms. That's why they like guys who are 6'5", 6'6", 240, 250 pounds, who have long arms, because all he did right there was make sure the offensive tackle couldn't get into his chest. It's just like this. If I can touch you before you touch me, I'm going to win, and I'm going to get around this corner. That's exactly what he did, and that's why guys like that are at a premium.
Bronco Mendenhall has always liked those kinds of players. Al Van Noy, Ziggy Ansah, maybe different body types. Perry goes deep. He's got a man in incomplete. A.J. Osborne was open, and N'Kosi Perry knows he just missed him.
Yeah, look, they're getting some good shots on this Virginia secondary down the field because N'Kosi is buying time in the pocket. The offensive line actually, on the whole, is playing pretty well. And I'll tell you this right now, I'm sure the Virginia secondary didn't expect N'Kosi to have this kind of time, given the fact that they are so proficient rushing the passer. But the corners are going to have to really settle down here and make sure that guys aren't getting behind him, because he's going to hit some of these eventually.
Oh, for his last 4, although with at least one ball that could have, maybe should have been caught. The tight end, number 9, Brevin Jordan, goes in motion, and now movement. Maybe the center. Penalty flags flying all around.
Snap infraction on the center. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Corey Gaynor gets called for the penalty, so instead of 3rd and 14, it's going to be 3rd and 19. That's the first penalty of the game on either side. It's kind of fun to watch football without penalty flags, isn't it?
No question about it. The coaches emphasize all the time, play a clean game, and by that they mean don't have these kind of mistakes. But I'll tell you, given the fact that there haven't been any penalty flags so far, I think Manny and Bronco are getting exactly what they want as far as mistake-free football.
So it's 3rd and 19. We'll see how aggressive Miami is here. The Virginia defense is going to just rush 4, and they get there right away. They set up the screen again, and this time Virginia was ready for it. A tackle for a loss. And Miami just kept going backwards there. It's 4th down at very long.
Yeah, just another tremendous job. All these 6'5", 6'6" looking basketball playing football players out here on this field. And that time it snowed, and between him and Taylor right now, they're all over the football field. And these guys are absolutely hungry, fast, physical guys. They're going to make all the difference in the world if they want to go ahead and give their offense a chance to get back in this football game.
I'll tell you what, I don't know that there are many teams that have a better combo at that spot than Virginia does. That one, a big hit. There was no fair catch signal from Billy Kemp, and there should have been. I think that's Jimmy Murphy, who's sort of a cult hero here in Miami.
I see you, Jimmy. Get them riled up, buddy. Hey, look, special teams play, that's what it's all about. You get down the field, you get a free shot on a returner. You take it, my man. Get this crowd riled up.
Virginia and Miami, very important game in the Coastal Division of the ACC. And the Cavaliers undefeated in conference play. Are trailing 7-0. You saw that shot from high up above. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, introducing the newest honorary member of the College Football Hall of Fame, the Goodyear blimp. Goodyear, more driven. I give these fans credit. The weather was horrendous this afternoon. Downpours, thunder, lightning, and it was kind of a late arriving crowd, but a lot of Miami folks have come here to Hard Rock Stadium tonight. Have a legitimate home field advantage going. Perkins throws into traffic, but complete across the 30, out to the 32. It'll be 3rd down at 3.
There's my guy with my favorite name in college football, Hassis Dubois. I'll tell you what, between him and Joe Reed, these two guys can get after it. That's just a nice job right there of Bryce Perkins, getting them now in a 3rd and manageable situation. Just a quick little stop route, let him turn upfield, get about 6 yards. And now you have a nice manageable 3rd down situation where you have more at your disposal as far as your playbook is concerned.
So it's 3rd and a long 2. Looks more like 3 to me. First few minutes of this quarter. Joe Reed in motion. Perkins steps up. Perkins trying to find a running lane. He stayed on his feet. He's fighting for that yardage, and he got the 1st down. What a great effort from Bryce Perkins.
When it all goes crazy, Bronco Mendenhall said sometimes Bryce is just going to have to be Bryce and do what he has to do. He should be stopped. He should be stopped right there, taking shots in his back, exposing himself to possible injury like that. This guy gives it his all on every play, and a lot of times it doesn't look conventional, it doesn't look pretty, but he just keeps generating 1st downs. And this young man right here is going to be fun to watch. And if you're not having fun watching him, then I don't know what to tell you.
That's a big 1st down for Virginia. Hard time moving the ball here early in this game. Perkins with with time. Takes off again. Perkins to the outside, stays on his feet. Finally goes out of bounds, but a first down, Virginia.
You see Bryce Perkins running. I spoke to him this week. He told me he wants to prove everyone that he is a passer first. Spent the offseason in California training. When you talk to Robert and I, the offensive coordinator, he says this guy does everything as a quarterback. He has his checks. He can make his reads. He throws the ball in tight quarters. He can do it all. On the recruiting trail, they kind of chuckled when they were taking this guy from Arizona State because a lot of people thought he wasn't that type of quarterback. He's proven he is.
2 straight runs for Bryce Perkins. That's still a big part of his game. Even if he wants to be a thrower first, he kept the ball. Good ball handling there and got it to his tight end, Tanner Cowley. There is a penalty flag on the field as Cowley got into Miami territory and much more. We'll see what the penalty is, though.
Holding. Offense. Number 13. 10-yard penalty still. First down.
Kick off your Week 6 NFL Sunday, day after tomorrow, with ESPN and the ESPN app at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sunday NFL Countdown Crew will have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, preview every game right up to kickoff. What's the game of the week in the NFL, in your opinion?
Oh, man.
There's some good ones.
There's a bunch of good ones. Look, I'll tell you what, the Monday night game is the game of the week.
Okay.
Detroit at Green Bay, we're going to be there. Frozen tundra, it doesn't get any better than that, Dave.
That is a really good matchup. My San Francisco 49ers are going to play a big
undefeated.
game.
Undefeated.
There's a leading question. Perkins with another play fake. And he gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Second down and very long. So that was a costly penalty against the Cavaliers. Wiped out the nice gain for their tight end, Bronco Mendenhall. Trying to get this Virginia offense going. UVA, the turnovers were the difference in South Bend. Virginia, in a lot of ways, they played Notre Dame. We know how good Notre Dame is. They played them pretty evenly outside of giving the ball away. Perkins knows he's got time just to make a little check. That one out. Reed breaks a tackle, cuts it to the middle to midfield and hangs onto the ball into Miami territory. Well, you highlighted him right away. Joe Reed can play.
But Joe Reed is one of the most dynamic players you're going to see in college football because of what he can do with the ball in his hands. Look, he's a dynamic kick returner. Had a 100-yard kick return already this year against William & Mary. So when you get him the ball out on the perimeter one-on-one, you can see he can make defenders miss right there. And you're going to have to run and chase and rally. And Miami has the athletes to do that. And they did a decent job of it right there. On top of the fact that they're getting some push here against this Virginia offensive line. And you're seeing right now, look, Bryce Perkins is taking some hits in the pocket. They're not sacking him, but they're making him uncomfortable back there.
It'll get loud again, and the play clock is all the way down to 2. Down to 1. Pressure comes. Immediately to throw, and a nice catch for the first down. There's Hassis Dubois, first down UVA.
Oh, I love when you say that name, Hassis Dubois. This guy has tremendous catch radius, and you see it right here. It doesn't matter if you have tight coverage on him or not. Does a pretty good job of pass protection. He just puts it up high. He snatches it clean in his hands. Here you can see him working off the line of scrimmage. Gets a little push off there. Yeah, I know defensive backs out there. You're saying that's offensive pass interference, but I'll tell you this guy is a problem at 6'3", 215 pounds. And the combination of him and Reed are going to be fun to watch.
Good point you made, too, about the hands, because Bryce Perkins zipped that thing in there.
He did. A lot of heat on that one.
Plays already 5.5 minutes. They haven't gone all that far inside the Miami 40. They'll hand the ball off, and a nice hole and a good run for a first down and more, all the way down to the Hurricanes 25. That's Taulapapa, the sophomore from Hawaii. 13 yards.
This is the kind of drive that Robert and I says characterizes what they want to be on offense. They want to control the ball, control time of possession, chew up the clock, and just be efficient. Now, usually you can't do that if you're not a good running team, and they're not a good running team, but they're a good short passing team and take opportunistic shots. They get the running game going, now they're really right in the comfort zone.
A touchdown would tie the game. We're in the second quarter. Taulapapa empties the backfield. Perkins in the pocket's going to go toward the end zone, and it is incomplete. Kind of threw it up there into some coverage. Terrell Chapman was the intended target. These two have known each other for a while. Another transfer from Arizona State who came to Charlottesville.
I'll tell you what, from up here in the booth, it looked like he almost came down with a spectacular catch. I didn't have a good vantage point on it, but you can see right there, this is another guy who's 6'3 plus and has a long catch radius. So sometimes, you know, Bryce doesn't have to be on the money because these guys are great hands catchers that can go up and take the ball off the top of the rim, so to speak. So we'll see what he has going on here on second down.
That's Reed who leaves the backfield. Perkins, a little delay and a run. He is swarmed. He does get close to the 20 though, so almost 5 yards. It'll be third down. Methodical drive. It's taken a long time, approaching 7 minutes now. They've run 11 plays already.
See, it's very calculated what they do. Let the play clock get down in there around 10 seconds before you snap the ball. Short passing game, opportunistic shots. Hey, if you pop and run in there for 4 or 5 yards, but sometimes and we'll take it. But you can just see what their methodology is, and they stay true to who they are.
Dominating the ball here in the second quarter, but still without points on the board. Third down, Perkins bounces right, backpedaling. Perkins will throw the ball away. And did he step out of bounds first? He might have. What's the referee going to say? I guess not. He threw it out of bounds, so he did not. It's fourth down, and that saved a lot of yardage. That keeps Virginia in pretty reasonable field goal range, and that's what they're going to do, try to get their first 3 points.
That's a nice job there by the Miami secondary of really plastering their coverage in the back end, meaning this: when the quarterback breaks the pocket, find a man, cover him, don't let him go. Don't even look back at the quarterback, just cover your guy and let the pass rush do its work. Great job of team defense right there by the Miami Hurricanes.
So to be about a 38-yard attempt, it would have been close to 48 had Perkins not thrown it away, and the kick is blocked, so it didn't matter. Man, he kicked that one. It looked like right into the line.
Yeah, that didn't get much height on it.
So something happened for Brian Delaney where that was not even close. That sort of summarizes the end of these last 2 drives for Virginia. Yikes.
Yeah, that's not a good operation. Broncos not going to be happy about that. All that time of possession and no points, that's not what you want. I look forward to seeing if I can catch a few plays of that game.
The Gators are sort of carrying the flag for Florida college football right now, with Miami struggling, with Florida State struggling. UCF has hit some hard times, which have been so rare for them recently. First down after the blocked field goal. They're going to pitch the ball coming from right to left. Jeff Thomas just had nowhere to go. So Virginia, the UVA defense is racking up the tackles for loss. They're down 7-0, but they're making a lot of good plays.
Yeah, they're playing solid defense. They know what they are as a team, meaning if the offense is sputtering a little bit, not putting points on the board, they're just going to keep doing their work. Nick Howell's going to keep calling them up. Bronco Mendenhall is going to manage the operation overall. And they're going to let their guys just go to work. And they're going to play the long game, meaning they're not going to panic. You know how this team is. They're just going to keep grinding and grinding until eventually you make a mistake, or hopefully you make a mistake.
It did officially go as a pass play. And it lost 3 yards. 5 tackles for loss already for Virginia. Here comes some pressure. Make it number 6. Perry goes down. And he had no chance to get away. Mandy Alonso, who was another Miami kid coming back home to play for Virginia, led the way.
See, this is one of these situations where they blitz their outside linebacker, Jordan Mack, on the outside and kind of swap responsibilities with one of the outside linebackers. Bronco Mendenhall said, hey, look, that's what we do because our inside backers are very good at coming downhill and creating havoc. And that's why he sends them a lot. You'll see number 4 Mack there on your screen. You're going to see him blitzing a lot. He's the leading sacker on their football team with 6. You're also going to see Zane Zandier do it as well. They have a very interesting scheme here that's been crafted by Bronco, and it works because they're one of the best pass rushing teams in college football.
It's working right now. 3rd and 21, and Perry just takes off. Miami did not want to give Virginia a chance for another sack. They also didn't give themselves much of a chance to get the first down. So that was pretty conservative. And I don't blame them. It's 4th down.
Timeout. Virginia. Their first timeout.
Virginia wanted to use a timeout, save some clock. We're nearing the end of the first half. Be back right after this. Because there are a lot of very fascinating games this week in college football. The punt after the UVA timeout. Under 3 minutes to go, first half. And Billy Kemp will cut it upfield. Kemp has got room now across the 40 and the 45. A nice return. Virginia's got the ball. They've got 2 timeouts. They have excellent field position. Still down 7-0, trying to get some points on the board before halftime. And Bryce Hall is hurt. And that's not good for Virginia, because Bryce Hall is one of their very best players. So we'll take a timeout and hope that Bryce Hall is okay. Miami players also going to jump in there along with a lot of his Cavalier teammates, as Bryce Hall will be driven off the field here in Miami. He was on a punt play. He was playing special teams, blocking for Billy Kemp, and it was a great punt return for Virginia. The good news is Bryce Hall seems to be in pretty good spirits. They got that air cast, or whatever you want to call it, wrapped around his lower left leg, ankle. We're not going to show you, the injury is not pretty. We're not going to show you a real close look. But the good news is he appears to be.
Yeah, this is a quality young man with tremendous character, self-made, has worked himself into the player that he is and that he will be in the future.
Guy Lewis is projected by many.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about him, but by many to be a first-round type player.
He's extremely skilled. You're talking about a 6'6", 6'1", 200-pound corner that can play press, can play zone. Led the nation last year in pass breakups. And he's about as good as it gets. You just don't want to see that right there.
So Bryce Hall, number 34, as the would-be tackler kind of comes from behind and pins his left lower leg, ankle underneath the body. That's how Bryce Hall got hurt. So our thoughts are with one of the best players in college football. UVA is going to miss him on the field, and much more than that. Perkins, 1st and 10, Virginia, throws down the left sideline. Incomplete, intended for Joe Reed, who got just tied up enough. It'll be 2nd down.
Quiet Virginia sideline. Bryce Hall, an amazing kid. Thought about going to the NFL last year. Prayed about it in the offseason. Decided to come back. You speak to all the coaches here and the players. There's no roller coaster with this kid. He's so steady, the way that he's attention to detail about his craft. You just hope that this kid's all right, because a bright future in the sport of football.
Hope so. 2nd and 10 for Virginia. 2 timeouts, 2:39, their best starting field position of the game. Pressure, Perkins gets it away, tipped up and incomplete. Almost intercepted Michael Pinckney, and there were 2 Hurricanes right in the neighborhood. Not quite.
That's what Manny Diaz wants his inside linebackers to do. Michael Pinckney and Shaq Quarterman, they're the guys who have to make plays in that short to intermediate passing game. You see rush off the backside. That's a great job of getting a break on the ball by Michael Pinckney. That's how you draw it up for linebackers, and those are the kind of plays that they're going to have to make all night against this really controlled intermediate inside the numbers passing game that Virginia likes to use.
That was a heck of an effort. 3rd and 10. Play clock under 10. And I don't know. I guess they got the ball snapped. Perkins pressured immediately, throws on the run and completes that pass, but it's caught well short by Billy Kemp, the punt returner. They're into Miami territory, but with 2:20 on the clock, I don't know. Bronco Mendenhall's probably going to punt the ball away.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to. He's going to play to the strength of his football team. His defense is doing a pretty good job.
Miami, their first timeout of the half. Timeout.
So now it's Miami's turn to use their first timeout to try to save some clock. So they're going to get the ball right at beautiful night in Florida for a football game on Friday night. Number 20 Virginia, undefeated in the ACC, but they are tested right now. Virginia acted like they might fake the punt, but instead Nash Griffin is going to punt the ball away. Lewis, you made a good point. Maybe the timeout for Miami was as much to just get organized and prepare for the possibility of that as anything else, and they were prepared, and Virginia punted them the ball. All right, here's Coke sharing an upcoming game this weekend. Which game does Coke want to share? How about in the Big Ten, Penn State, Iowa, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Under the lights at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City is never easy. Penn State has looked great but that will be a test for them.
No doubt about it. When Penn State has an explosive offense, and Iowa's defense, look, this is a great Big Ten type of matchup, a black and blue type of matchup where you know there's going to be some good hard-nosed football. And who has a better tradition than Iowa as far as waving to the kids in the hospital?
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't touch you, I don't know what does. I mean, what a great atmosphere that they have there in Iowa.
I hope they do that forever.
Absolutely.
Miami, I think, likely to be pretty conservative unless they can pop a big run with DJ Dallas. They might. He stumbles forward. He stayed in bounds for a good long while and got close, not quite to the first down mark, right out to the 15. It'll be second down. If you watched Iowa and Michigan last week, just put that out of your mind. Iowa's going to play better this weekend against Penn State tomorrow night. So it's 2nd and 1. Who knows? You get a little cushion here. You got 2 timeouts. Maybe you start thinking about being more aggressive. N'Kosi Perry under center. 2nd and 1 for the Hurricanes. He will throw the ball to nobody. Well, he threw it to somebody, just somebody on the sideline.
Yeah, that looked like N'Kosi wanted to throw the quick hitch there to KJ Osborne, and Osborne was blocking right there. So there was obviously a run-pass option on that type of play. A little miscommunication, but still 3rd and short, so you have a good chance of converting.
Yeah, and I think they would be well served to just make sure they get the first down, because that incompletion stopped the clock. Virginia still has 2 timeouts. If you don't get it here, well, then Virginia can use one of the timeouts and look to get the ball back. Virginia's going to crowd the line of scrimmage, and Miami is going to snap the ball not to N'Kosi Perry. It doesn't look like. DJ Dallas takes the direct snap, and DJ Dallas goes backwards. He loses yardage. It'll be 4th down, and Miami fans are not real thrilled about that call. Virginia is using that second timeout.
Their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
I'm not going to literally read lips. I think the idea was, what was that?
I think you had a situation there where maybe you could have taken a shot. Maybe you could have gone play action on 2nd down and see if you could have maybe produce a big play and get yourself out of that situation.
Yeah, I think from the backside you could see, they showed a replay here in the stadium. The face mask of DJ Dallas might have been grabbed, and there was no flag thrown.
Yeah, I know, obviously Manny sees that, and Manny's shirt's come out of his pants. He's so ticked off right now. Oh yeah, he pulls it.
Oh, for sure.
It's right there.
Noah Taylor, that should have been a 15-yard penalty and a first down. That could be big. Sure. Look, I try to give the officials, it's a hard game to officiate, but when the head gets jerked like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's an obvious call. Officials shouldn't miss. And that call notwithstanding, because that's a poor miss on their part. They had a situation there where, again, their wide receivers have gotten behind Virginia's defensive backs a few times. And with no Bryce Hall in the football game, maybe that was an opportunity to see if you could really hit a good one down the field on a 2nd and short situation before it got to 3rd down.
Instead, it's 4th down, punting from the goal line. And a pretty good punt. Kemp, who had a good return last time, fields and gets drilled. So Virginia's field position is not going to be as good. They will blow the play dead, I assume. I think they're blowing the whistle, trying to stop it. They do. 1:33 on the clock. Well, while we have just a moment here, our Week 6 Monday Night Football game is a big one in the NFC North, rather. And Lewis identified this, maybe the game of the week in the NFL. The Lions and the Packers. I like saying the Lions' record. They're 2-1-1. They have a tie. The Packers are 4-1 coming off that great performance Monday at 8 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. So it's first down Virginia with 1 timeout remaining, 1:33 on the clock. They have been shut out in this first half by the Miami defense. Bryce Perkins and company. See if they can operate the hurry-up offense. The quick throw, and that's not great for Virginia. Clock will move. Just a short gain. Terrell Jana with the catch. Second down. Virginia trying to show some urgency. From their own 40, Perkins in the pocket, steps up, now bounces it left. Perkins going to try to get to that corner. He does, and he'll get out of bounds after getting the Virginia first down right near midfield.
Yeah, but as Bryce Perkins was navigating the pocket and trying to find a receiver down the field, he had a receiver coming open. I believe it was Terrell Chapman. It was either him or Hassis Dubois on the outside that were coming open. down on the sideline. You can see it right here at the top of your screen.
Yep.
If he just could have saw him, I mean, it's hard to get your body squared up to throw the football that far down the field in that situation. But that's what Miami's going to have to be careful, because Bryce can extend plays, and you're going to have to cover for the full length of the play. You can never let up.
First down, Virginia. And a handoff. I don't know about that one. They'll use their final timeout. That took nobody by surprise. You have to waste your timeout, and you lost a yard.
Virginia, their third and final timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
So the final timeout for the Cavaliers. The offense has been a struggle. 30-second timeout back after this. So much better on defense tonight against number 20 UVA. Virginia Tech lit up Miami last week on this same field. It's 2nd and 11. Virginia's dominated the quarter. They've had the ball. They've moved the ball. They have no points to show for it, and Perkins has been under duress the whole time. And that may really just end the chances for UVA of getting points before halftime. They don't have a timeout. They're not going to, well, they are going to rush to the line of scrimmage. That kind of surprises me. It's 3rd and 14. Perkins, his offensive lineman, just got run over. He's got Dubois open for the gain into Miami territory. 25-20 inside the 15, all the way down inside the 10. Assis Dubois. I was shocked they were even going to throw the ball, and look what I know.
You're going to see him right out here at the top of your screen, and you're going to see the corner absolutely just loses vision on him. DJ Ivey gets turned around and then falls down on the ground. See, those are the kind of missteps that have plagued Miami all year long. Bad eyes, not understanding the situation, and that's how you give up a big play like that in a situation where you should be getting off the field, and this half should be ending.
Yeah, that's a shocker. By far the longest gain for the Cavaliers in this first half. 49 yards, and one of the best defensive players for Miami, Michael Pinckney, is down and hurting. Now the question is 26 seconds. It'll be 1st and goal. You don't have a timeout, so you're going to lean on your senior experienced quarterback here to try to make sure that you don't botch a chance to get at least 3 points. But UVA's got a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, this is, look, now you're down in this area right now where everything happens fast. Inside the 10-yard line, this is where smart football comes into play. It's not so much about physicality, it's about being smart with your eyes, smart with your keys, smart with your reads. And quite honestly, this is this kind of situation where Miami has struggled a little bit, and where Manny really has tried to get these guys to trust one another and play better cohesive football. That kind of mental lapse that happened right there, out there on the corner by DJ Ivey, I mean, that's unacceptable in this kind of situation, Dave. You have to play with better eyes, play with better leverage, not fall down on the ground, because now you give them a chance to get back in this football game. And see, right now this is where Bryce Perkins can really be a problem because of his run-pass ability.
Well said, very fair. That is a huge mistake. Not only the longest play of the game, that's the longest play from scrimmage for Virginia this year. Bryce Perkins, 147 yards of total offense, more than the Miami team altogether. And yet the scoreboard still reads Hurricanes 7, Cavaliers nothing. 26 seconds to go until halftime. A great test, really, on both sides. Can Virginia manage the situation, manage the clock, not make a mistake? Can Miami's defense hold up? Perkins in the shotgun. He's going to bring one of his receivers closer. And to hold on to the ball, you can't take a sack. Perkins is dancing around. He throws it out of the end zone. Wow, that was close. Clock stops, 17 seconds to go.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Although Miami won the down, and it's a great job of the defensive backs doing a good job in the back end as Perkins is running around in the back end, that's what drives you crazy, both as a coordinator, defensive coordinator, as a defensive back, is how Bryce is just so slippery and a guy who can create. It just turns into backyard football, and that's how you give up a cheap, easy one if you're not on it for the full down.
Michael Pinckney missed one play. He's back on the field now for Miami. 2nd and goal. The play took 9 seconds, that last one. Perkins throws a fade-type pass, incomplete, intended for Joe Reed. Good coverage there. So it'll be 3rd and goal. Gervin Hall Jr., one of the starting safeties for Miami, with the coverage. The head coach said he was going to be more involved with the defense. He has been more involved with the defense.
And that's a nice job there by Gervin Hall and Joe Reed, who has made those kind of plays this year in jump ball situations for the Virginia Cavaliers. And that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to once you match your guys back here in the end zone, can you make plays on the ball, or are they going to make a play on you?
And just to emphasize your point, you use the word end zone. It's got to go to the end zone. You can't get tackled with the clock moving. Otherwise, Virginia will miss a chance to get any points. They just get the ball snapped. They throw another one of those. Back shoulder style, knocked away, incomplete. Al Blades Jr. with a heck of a play on the ball. It's 4th down, and Virginia will be forced to try the field goal.
Look, they went to the right guy. They went to Dubois, who has that catch radius that I'm talking about. And really, if the ball was thrown just a little bit sooner, maybe that's a touchdown. But I'll tell you what, Al Blades right there, that is a perfect play as far as making a play on a back shoulder fade. You can hand fight. You see, he never looks at the football. He's just reading. Well, that's Chapman. That's Terrell Chapman right there. He's just reading his eyes and swatting at the football, punching the pocket when he feels the ball's arriving.
One field goal already blocked in the first half. High snap, not a good snap, a very good hold. And by the barest of margins, Virginia gets 3 points on the board. They let that final second tick off the clock. So I think Miami's going to be okay with allowing that to go to the halftime locker room. And Bronco Mendenhall at least has some points to take to the locker room. His team will have the ball at the start of the second half. Good effort by the Miami defense. Time for the Nissan halftime report with Matt. On the road in a conference game and a very important game in the Coastal. The Hurricanes, who had the ball first, will kick it off. Virginia's offense is going to be on the field. Bouncing kick. A little bit of a delay for Joe Reed to return. And he gets leveled at the 25-yard line. Dave Fleming, Louis Riddick back here with you. And Louis, look, I did not expect the kind of first half that we got. The Miami defense played well, the Virginia and the losses, but it is definitely the case that Virginia has played better as games have gone on. That one, there were 2 receivers in line for that pass. And Terrell Jana made the catch, turned it upfield for a first down. Let's go down to Paul Carpentero.
Just spoke with Bronco Mendenhall. He likes what his offense is doing. He said red zone is a problem. They haven't cashed in. He thinks moving the ball against this great Miami defense is something they could do. Defensively, he said after that first drive, they figured Miami out schematically. Can that continue is the big question, he said. And Bryce Hall, the shutdown corner, saw him outside the locker room at half. He's on crutches. He has a left cast.
Handoff on the first down play for the Cavaliers for a short gain. So that's well, look, we're not going to speculate on what the injury is for Bryce Hall. We're just hoping that he's okay. But he's moving around. He's still here in the building. Kark, you got a little bit more for us?
Dave, he had a cast on the left leg outside the locker room, met by family members. Obviously not coming back into this ball game, but we could only just hope that the prognosis is positive.
We will echo that for sure. 2nd and 8 for the Virginia offense. They got the ball first here in the second half, trailing 7-3. They got their field goal on the last play of the first half. A crossing route. Cease Dubois with the catch. He had a nice first half for Virginia.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. Look, if Bryce Perkins can read pre-snap, and they said he can decipher coverages, he can get them in the correct type of plays. Anytime he can read single high coverage, meaning there's one safety in the middle of the field, and they got man-to-man coverage on the outside, I would take my chances with my wide receivers. I would take my chances with Dubois. I'd take my chances with Reed. The question is, can they protect them long enough to hit some chunk plays down the field? Because I think they're there. They're there in these man-to-man situations.
Good questions. Hope we find out. Perkins swings it out and incomplete. Man, that was dangerous. There's a linebacker, the striker Romeo Findlay, cutting toward the ball. Incomplete. It's 4th down. So Virginia moves the ball, gets a first down close to midfield, but now they're going to have to punt.
As tempting as it is to maybe even take a shot at it right here, you know the Broncos not going to, because his defense is playing so well. And if they really figured him out, that being Miami's offense, and this pit them back deep, play the complementary game.
You and I were in Houston earlier. Mike Leach and the Washington State Cougars. Mike Leach and Bronco Mendenhall are opposites.
Yeah, slightly.
The punt Looks like a good one from Nash Griffin, who is booming the ball tonight. Fair catch made just inside the 10. That's 47 yards with no return.
Long arms, bending the corner with that athletic ability and getting the sack here. And here you got Mandy Alonso. Just basically, he's turned loose in the A gap. I mean, you have no shot as your quarterback. You're just going to turn a defensive tackle loose, and Mandy finishes right there. Look, it's hard enough to pass protect, let alone when you just turn guys loose in the A gap. That's a good job by Virginia.
One of the best sack teams in the country. They've got 2 sacks so far in this game. First possession, second half for Miami. And N'Kosi Perry completes a pass for a positive gain. Hard to believe, but he did not do that in the first half after the touchdown pass, which was on Miami's first drive. The Miami offense did nothing after that game-opening touchdown drive. So that's a positive start. Mark Pope with the catch. It'll be 2nd and 4. We heard from Clark about how Bronco Mendenhall thought his defense did a good job of figuring out what the Miami game plan is. Let's see if Miami has a counter move, an adjustment. Jordan, the tight end, in motion. He's been relatively quiet. He's a blocker on this quick hitter. Catch and run for a first down. Miami outside the 20.
What you can see right now is Miami throwing the ball to the left-hand side. I'll tell you what, that's because, look, Bryce Hall's not out there anymore. So what they have done, they've taken Devontae Cross, the regular starting free safety, and they've moved him out there on the corner. Now that's something to watch for the rest of this game. I already said, if you get one-on-one coverage, both of these teams should take some shots. Look for them to try and get Jeff Thomas maybe one-on-one against the corner out there, who's the safety actually in Devontae Cross.
All right, let's see. N'Kosi Perry in the backfield. This time he's going to hand the ball off. Straight ahead running. And nearly a broken tackle by DJ Dallas. It'll be 2nd down. Well, tomorrow, Saturday, big one in the Big Ten. Number 10 Penn State. They have been super impressive and kind of quietly so. But they'll be tested on the road at Kinnick Stadium under the lights in Iowa City. 7:30 Eastern on ABC, 4:30 Pacific. It'll stream live on the ESPN app. There are more teams in college football than I thought at the start of the year who have a chance to win a national championship. There are. Yep. It is a deeper field of elite teams this year. And I think Penn State's in that group. Perry hands off straight ahead and short by 1.5 yards or so to set up 3rd down.
So that's a nice job right there of Joey Blunt, one-on-one, getting DJ Dallas on the ground. And he's someone in the missed tackle category that I had my eye on. He had missed some tackles in previous games for Virginia. And I can just tell you this, look, I can assure you, DJ Dallas is an all-day affair as far as trying to get him on the ground. So that's a nice job of coming up from the safety position and limiting yards after contact and giving yourself a chance here on 3rd and short.
Well, 3rd and 1, these kind of plays have not been easy for Miami. Dallas not in the game. They'll pitch the ball, and there is nowhere to go. Cameron Harris was dropped for a loss of a couple yards, and you can understand the frustration of the Miami fans.
Why are you trying to run the ball east and west against a defense like this that has a bunch of 6'5", 225-pound just pterodactyls out there trying to get after you? They're just swarming you and coming after you, and you can see right there, Nick Howell, he likes what he's seeing. I can see why Bronco Mendenhall said maybe we figured him out. Although there's opportunities for Miami, they just have to be judicious in taking them.
Did not get that 2nd first down on that drive. 8th tackle for loss for the Virginia defense. Short punt here with the fair catch made outside the 30, and we will step aside. There's a Virginia player down.
Heart by Al. He lost his father when he was 3 years old, and the love he has for his mother, Katisha Rose, it's palpable.
Well, we love it when kids share with us who they are. Well done, Al. He and the Miami defense back on the field. Virginia trying to get some kind of running game, even just the threat of the run play going. That was Mike Hollins, who's a true freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for a short gain on 1st down. Hollins has been a guy who has showed a few there. Only had 11 carries all year coming into this game, but we thought he might get a chance to play a little bit more here tonight. And despite the fact that you've made the point, you got to run the ball every once in a while at least. It has to be at least the threat. I'm going back to the point you were making. How can they get those playmakers at the wide receiver spot involved? Play clock is winding down here, and they are not lined up. Down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. And I think that Virginia called a timeout, which is interesting to use one of your timeouts this early in the second half, trailing by 4 points.
Timeout. Virginia, their first timeout of the half.
Is the 5 yards worth one of those timeouts? Broncos winding down. Virginia has the ball, trailing by 4, 2nd and 9. Bryce Perkins play fake, pressured. He's going to throw over the top, and there was nobody there. Joe Reed had cut the route off short, and Perkins threw it long.
See, that's the right idea, though. See, you could tell what Bryce Perkins is thinking right there, right? You have the defensive secondary rotating to a man-to-man coverage look, one safety in the middle. Give your playmakers a chance to get down the field on the outside if you can protect it. The reason why they're running the ball sometimes on first down, look, Manny Diaz is smart. He's putting 2 safeties back, and he's mixing it up because he sees that their wide receivers for Virginia are actually winning down the field. So he's trying to change it up. He doesn't want to give you the same look all the time. Here you got a man-to-man coverage situation. You can see it pre-snap right now. You see if they can get the ball down the field.
3rd and 9. Pressure coming. Perkins releases, throws, and it is caught in that man-to-man coverage. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Dubois, with the first down.
Yeah, I mean, look, these guys right here are like basketball players. They have these body types all over the place on their football team. And you can see right here, he's covered. He's covered, but he's just too long and he's just too tall, and he catches the ball clean in his hands. And right there, look, the defensive back, DJ Ivey, does a nice job of not looking back and trying to play through the pocket, they call it. But that's just winning one-on-one, and that's what's going to take to win this game.
5 catches, 86 yards for Hansis Dubois. Perkins did take a big hit. He throws to Joe Reed, who takes a hit. And it was great catch.
That's tremendous body control. Reach back around you like that when you know the defensive back Hall is coming right now to put a hit on you. That's as good as it gets, Dave.
And I don't want to be repetitive, Lewis, but this is what you've been talking about all game. That's where Virginia has the advantage. Number 2 and number 8 on the outside.
They will be the ones who decide this football game. They're not going to win this game running the ball. They're going to be running it. They're going to win it, throwing it to Dubois and throwing it to Reed.
2nd and 5, just across midfield. Virginia on the move. Clock winding, though. Perkins is going to fake a little end around, a throw on the move. What a beautiful play. Wide open receiver for a first down and more. That's Tavares Kelly, the Miami native.
That's a great play design right there. A true run-pass option. And if we take a look at it, we can get the replay. This is really cool because right now you're going to see he's going to ultimately throw it to the wide receiver right here. But you're going to see him just get out here on the perimeter, and it really just puts the defense in a bind. Watch the receiver just leak down the field. The defender commits because he thinks that Perkins is going to throw it. I mean, he's going to run it, and he just pulls up and throws it. I mean, that's exactly what you want. Put the defense in conflict, not knowing what's coming next.
23 yards. Perkins hands the ball off straight ahead with a hole, and the ball comes out. Miami's got it. Mike Hollins, the true freshman, put the ball on the turf. And I thought Trajan Bandy was there clearly to recover, but now we got the scrum. So they'll try to sort it out. Who's got the football? It is Miami ball. Wow, what a big play that is.
No question about it, and that's what you teach defenders to do. Just keep playing, keep playing. You give up plays, keep playing. Swat at that football if you have a chance. Test their ball security. Make sure that they are being secure as far as keeping the ball tucked high and tight, and you see it right there. Tremendous job as far as just reaching your arm out, swatting at the football, and then just running to it. Scoop and score. Here you don't have a chance to scoop it and get up and run with it, but that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
And look what you get as your reward when you come up with a football. Famous all-around college football. It's a new one this year, isn't it? The turnover chain. They make a new one every year.
If I could get one of those somewhere.
With the 305 right in the middle. And what a frustrating night for Virginia's offense. Perry in the pocket going deep. This one is incomplete. Mike Harley was out there, but the ball was thrown a little bit too far. It's 2nd down. Lewis, Virginia's had the ball 3 times inside the 25 of Miami. without coming away with points. Now they got the 3 at the end of the first half, but 3 other different drives inside the 25 with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, situational football. The red zone may be the most critical one, especially when you're in that scoring zone. You got to come away with at least 3, preferably 7, but never nothing. That's a recipe for disaster.
So 2nd and 10, play fake, the throw across the middle, knocked away, incomplete. Looking to get the ball to Brian Hightower. It'll be 3rd down. Can I ask you a philosophical question?
Yes, sir.
So the turnover chain, Trajan Bandy is the guy who came up with the ball. He gets to wear the chain. Jonathan Ford's the guy who knocked the ball out of there.
Yeah, you know what?
You okay with that?
Maybe just share it, you know. Maybe you share it. You take it home a little bit. I'll take it home a little bit.
I don't see
Bandy's got it?
I don't see a lot of sharing.
It's always the guy who finishes with it, huh?
Always the guy.
It's all good, though.
3rd and 10. Virginia's defense trying to get a quick stop after the change-up possession. Perry pressured immediately. Now going backwards, Perry throws off his back foot. Out of bounds. That pass rush has been a huge factor. Kosi Perry, since the first drive of the game, just has had no opportunity to make plays.
Yeah, they see you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to test them down the field. But one of the ways in which to make any quarterback, whether he's hot or not, uncomfortable is just get him off of his spot and make him run, make him pull his eyes down and not look at wide receivers down the field. And that's what Virginia's doing. Look, there's a reason they're the best pass rushing team, or one of the best pass rushing teams in college football, because they can come at you from so many different ways.
Isn't that number amazing? Since that first drive, Perry and the Miami offense 7 yards passing in the game. Fair catch. So Virginia's defense does get the ball back on this Friday night in Miami, Florida, with the Hurricanes ahead 7-3. Thank goodness. 7-3 Miami. Virginia's offense, what a frustrating night for them. They have moved the ball and they have not taken advantage of it. They get the ball right back, a 3-and-out from their defense. Couple different play fakes, but the play blown up, and Perkins backpedaling is going to just, I think, get outside the tackle box and avoid the intentional grounding. Throw the ball away at 2nd down. Rousseau, has he been the best player on the field on defense for Miami?
Look, I've been singing the praises of the body types on Virginia's defense. Look, Gregory Rousseau, just look at him. This kid is put together now, and he is a fantastic athlete. You're looking at 6'6", 260 pounds, who can basically play up and down the line of scrimmage. They line him up at nose tackle, defensive end. And when he's chasing your quarterback around, you know there's problems. You better get him blocked.
He's so similar in his story to Charles Snowden in that he was a basketball player, came late to football. He's got those long arms. Backfield empty. Perkins will throw across the middle into traffic, but completed outside the 35. That's Dubois. 3rd down coming up.
There you see Dubois right there just sitting there like, you can't cover me. You can't stop me. And you know what? Sometimes, Dave, it's just that simple. I know play callers sometimes look at their fancy sheet and it looks like a menu at Denny's, right? Or like a menu at Waffle House. I have Waffle House on the brain. And you sit there and you go, I want to call all these different plays. And sometimes you just need to go to the ones that keep working. And Dubois and Reed keep working. If you get them one-on-one, just throw it to them.
3rd and 6. That's Robert Anai ordering on 3rd down. A little wide receiver screen. Kemp gets a block. That's a nice gain and a 1st down out to midfield.
That's a great job pre-snap recognizing by Bryce Perkins that we have 2 safeties back. They're playing some kind of zone defense. And you know what? We're just going to run a little wide receiver screen, and we're going to get it blocked up. We're going to throw it right here to him. You see these 2 safeties back here? You got one here. That's 2 safeties high. So what do? You want a little wide receiver screen, and then let him just catch and run and use his ability to open field. You see the lineman down here just blocking down the field, and then it's just open field running ability. And that is just doing what you do best, what you used to do out on the playground. That's just a good play call for that situation.
Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Virginia right back to midfield. Can the Cavaliers finish off a drive? The answer's been no all night. Perkins had nowhere to go with the ball. He'll throw short here. Dubois cuts out of bounds, and that turned something out of nothing because Perkins was going backwards. Instead, Virginia gets almost 5 yards. Okay, maybe just 3, but it's still something.
You know, what's interesting about this philosophy is because they're not producing big plays down the field, it forces them to be so efficient offensively and not make any mistakes. From a defensive perspective, Coordinators preach this all the time. If they want to go the hard way like this and they want to have to drive the ball all the way down the field, just stay patient, keep swatting at the ball, play our defenses, because the chances are they're going to make a mistake, as they did on the last drive.
Pressure comes, the throw, back shoulder is caught in bounds. Yes. What a nice play that was, the throw and the catch for another Virginia first down.
Again, one-on-one coverage on the outside. I can tell you what, Bryce Perkins is just working that route combination to death.
Inbounds for a first down. The previous play is under review.
Does a body part land in bounds?
Well, it looks like that elbow may have touched first.
I thought so. I guess the question, did the right foot hit out of bounds before that elbow?
Oh no, Manny's pleading his case over there on the sideline.
From this side, we'll maybe better be able to tell.
Oh, what hits first?
I think he's in.
I think elbow's down first.
I do too. That's Dejon Brissett, whose older brother, Jacoby Brissett, is doing a really good job as a quarterback for the Colts. What do you think?
I don't think you have enough evidence to overturn that, right?
Yeah, I think that's
I think that's a catch.
I think he touched inbounds before that right foot or leg touched out of bounds.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Good job by the replay officials. Good job by the officials on the field. And Dejon Brissett with a nice play. So here we go again. The same issue for Virginia. They are going down the field just about every time now, and they're still stuck on 3 points for the game. See those numbers, 21 of 31. He's 6 of 7, Bryce Perkins is, when Miami has blitzed. So the blitz has not been as effective, I don't think, as the Hurricanes would like it to be.
Right, because when you send extra rushers, you leave your guys out there one-on-one, and they're winning the one-on-ones. They have to get to him, and the coverage has to hold up in the back end.
And off straight ahead. That is Wayne Talapapa for a pretty good gain on first down. Get everybody separated. We don't want any big important flags on stuff like that. So it's 2nd and 5. That clock continues to roll. This has been a fast-paced game without the points to match, and this third quarter is feeling so much like the second quarter did, where Virginia controlled the ball, they moved the ball, and yet you're looking up at the scoreboard saying Miami's still ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they have all the stats, they have the time of possession, like you said, they're playing to the way they want to play. It doesn't matter if you don't score.
2nd and 5. Tight end in motion. Perkins is going to run against that pressure. Can he get away? He cannot. Gets dragged down from behind. Well, why is this a big game? Well, for 2 reasons. Number one, Virginia is in control in the Coastal. The only undefeated team in conference, already the only one left in this side of the ACC. 4-1 overall for Miami. 0-2, 2-3. They don't have a Power 5 win yet this year, with big expectations this year. They are desperate for a win. This proud football program is not used to this. 3rd and 6. Miami rushes 4, maybe an extra rusher at the end, and a great throw and catch inside the 20 for another Virginia first down, this time Terrell Jana.
Bryce Perkins showing you his poise, right? I mean, you said it already. His efficiency tonight against extra rushers has been very good, and this is a situation where he has to stay poised with rushers coming in his face. You see him scan the entire field, and his guys continue to win the 50-50 balls. They continue to beat the Miami defensive backs to the ball. Now let's see if they can do it inside the 20 here in the scoring zone, because this is where Miami has stiffened and played some pretty solid defense.
This is where Virginia has self-destructed. Perkins getting pressured, throws across the middle, and my goodness, the penalty flag thrown. Dubois just took a vicious hit. The ball was in his hands. He pops up, but still, you can only hope that he's okay. Amari Carter, that is scary.
Yeah,
Coming
it is.
across the middle, and the flag was thrown.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense. Number 5. Half the distance to the goal. The previous play is under review.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for a free safety, a defensive back, because your job is to separate the receiver from the ball. And you just have to be very precise with where you put your hat and how you enter into contact.
Yeah, that's going to be
And that
targeting.
yeah, it is. That shot went right to the head. It looked like right there on that replay.
Every targeting play is reviewed.
Yeah, I mean, it's helmet to helmet. It's right up. It's at the torso, around the neck area.
And thank goodness Dubois is okay. I mean, again, I think you said it well. That is not easy for that
Look, I
player.
have been in this situation. I played the position, that exact position. And in many years, that is just, way back 15, 20 years ago, that's a clean play. But right there, you're just going to have to go very low, and stay away from anything chest high, because otherwise it's going to be targeted.
Yeah.
And that's a hard play to make, especially when things are moving that fast. But that's just the way the game is now, and we understand why.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 5 is disqualified from the game. After distance to the goal, first down.
Manny Diaz is saying, and I see what he's saying, because Carter did try to turn that shoulder.
There's no doubt.
But
you know what? I can literally hear what's going through his head right there. I can hear what's going through Carter's head. Turn my shoulder. See if I can get low. Don't hit him in the head. Don't lead with his head. And you know what? You see how the receiver ducks his head just a little bit? It happens so fast. The only way you can really avoid that is either saw him off at the knees or don't even try and hit him. And that may be what it has to become at this point. But that's going to be a surefire touchdown then at the same time.
And now Carter wouldn't leave the field, and he got penalized again. Well, you got to leave the field. You just got kicked out of the game. So that's just doubling down on a mistake, because it was going to be 1st and goal from close to the 10. Not a gimme situation for Virginia.
Illegal substitution, defense. 12 players lined up in formation. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
So I guess it wasn't a personal foul, just an illegal substitution. Maybe it was Carter on the field when he was trying to walk to the locker room and walk down onto the field.
That may have been the situation.
Well, I mean, he's right in the middle of the end zone. So does he not understand that he was kicked out of the game? Maybe.
I think he was just trying to back out the back of the end zone and walk to the locker room, and kind of got caught in no man's land. And I mean, you could tell he wasn't, I think that's just one of those mistakes where he's not really trying to do something wrong. He's trying to get off the field. He's probably still a little bit in shock that he's been kicked out of the game. I mean, emotions are running high down there.
I just want to echo what you said. I feel for the defensive player there, but I do think that's what we're trying to get rid of.
Absolutely. I mean, I get it. We all get it. It's just making it, it's tough to play defensive back in that situation. You almost have to concede the touchdown.
That was a penalty against Virginia. They moved early. Well, Virginia's offense in the red zone has just been an out-and-out disaster.
Yeah. This is a situation.
That's a huge penalty
that you rep in practice all the time.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. First down.
This is where Bryce Perkins has to get the team in the huddle as the play call's coming in and just tell everybody, take a deep breath, take a look around the stands, listen to the band for a second, just distract them to where, look, let's get zoned back in now and put this ball in here. Because right now the moment's kind of getting to them a little bit and they're making dumb mistakes.
They've been inside the 25 5 times now in this game. So far, 3 points to show for it. Perkins out of the open. Perkins slipped. He carries that ball out to the side, too. It did not come out that time. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that's something I tell you. The coaches are seeing upstairs, and they're trying to relay it down to the sideline and tell the defenders, look, if you get Bryce Perkins in traffic like that and someone else has him squared up and you're coming in from the side, punch at that football if he has it away from his body like that. And that would just be an absolute momentum killer if you wind up turning the football down here. But I promise you, Manny Diaz is telling his guys, try and get that ball out.
And Robert and the offensive coordinator for Virginia, is hot. 2nd and goal. Peacock in alongside Talapapa. It is going to be a handoff, and still going, fighting for the goal line. That is Wayne Talapapa, stopped just short. What a powerful run that was. That is going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Well, you couldn't have a more perfect encapsulation about what this game is about than what we'll have on the first play of quarter number 4. Can Virginia get the ball in the end zone?
Exactly.
A huge play. Maybe the play of the game. Miami somehow has kept the lead 7-3. Much more dramatic tonight than that score would indicate. It's 3rd and goal for Virginia. Inside the 2. Bryce Perkins from the shotgun. Dubois is back in the game. A play fake. Perkins on the move. Perkins trying to get there himself, and he can't do it. He goes backwards. Gervin Hall, with a lot of help from his teammates, shoves him out of bounds, and that may take away the thought of going for it on 4th and goal, because UVA's back around the 5. I think Bronco Mendenhall is going to send the field goal team out on the field.
Yeah, look, I think any time that a play is this slow developing, you're trying to get the running back out here in the flat quickly, but you know what? Tremendous coverage right now. Now you see all these guys coming. The longer the play takes and you're moving laterally, you're playing right into Miami's hands, so they have tremendous speed. That's the kind of play call down there that has to happen quick. That means either you run it or you throw it quick, or you try and get a one-on-one jump ball on the outside. But if it takes that long, advantage defense, and that's the result.
But Brian Delaney, who's had 1 field goal blocked already, this one from 21 yards and close to the right hash. Snap, hold, kick is up, and that one clangs through. My goodness. Virginia's offense in this part of the field has just been awful tonight, and the field goal kicking game hasn't been much better. That time, though, the ricochet, they've had 5 possessions inside the 25, and they've gotten 6 points, and they're lucky to have the last 3. So Virginia, all that effort, still trailing here in Miami, 7-6 Hurricanes. Virginia undefeated in the ACC, number 20 in the country, and yet struggling big time here against a feisty Miami team. Touchback on the kickoff. Our Buick Drive recap once again, Lewis. Virginia moved the ball down the field.
Yeah, out in the field, they have some really good, nice play calls. Here you have a wide receiver screen against zone coverage with 2 safeties high. Nice catch and run. Here you got one-on-one coverage to Brissett on the outside. Then you take the shot right here, and you get the targeting situation. Now, why not go back to your wide receivers? Now you kind of run a play where you're trying to get the ball to Tyler Papa out in the flat. Miami matches it up perfectly, then you barely squeak out of his stride with 3 points. Keep going to your playmakers. They got you down there. Keep throwing it to them. Let those guys go to work one-on-one.
Play fake for DeCosi Perry, who will throw the ball away. And this has been the story of the game. The end of that drive has been the whole game. Virginia, 5 different times inside the 25 of the Hurricanes. A total of 6 points. 3 empty possessions, 2 field goals. They have not been in the end zone yet. And with a quarterback as talented, as athletic as Bryce Perkins is, it just is hard to explain. And I do think you gave credit to the Miami defense there, and that is important. Miami's defense has played really well in that part of the field.
Hey, the name of the game is keeping them out of the end zone. Hold them to 3, preferably none, but never 7 or never 6. And Miami is doing that so far.
Meanwhile, the Miami offense has gone silent. DeCosi Perry throws, and there's a completion for a first down. J.J. Osborne, the Hurricanes badly needed that. Before that play, they have 118 yards total for the game. They got more than 70 of them on the first drive of the game. They've only run 8 plays in the second half. We're already in the 4th quarter. And they're ahead.
Yep, sometimes it's critical situations. Their defense is answering the bell, and so is Virginia's defense, and that's why this is going to come down to the last possession. No question about it.
Very quick hitter. Osborne again for a nice gain across the 40, down to about the 42-yard line.
And we talked about this. We said that once Bryce Hall went out and they moved Devontae Cross out there to the corner, eventually they're going to test him. Eventually they're going to see if someone playing a position that they don't always play, if they can hold up against these speedy, athletic Miami wide receivers. And Cross is going to be in the crosshairs for the rest of this game.
I think that's well said. They are going to go after him and see if he can do it. Jordan, the tight end, moved over to the right side of the formation, under center. Harris, the tailback. Perry passes and hits KJ Osborne again. That's 3 straight catches for the transfer from the University of Buffalo.
And sometimes it's not that difficult. You just it's the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and O's. That's an old saying in football, right? Well, it's just about KJ Osborne going up against a guy who's a natural free safety and a guy who hasn't really been repping that corner. So now you're just going to run the entire route tree on him. Run some short stuff, run some out routes, run some back shoulders. Now double move him, see if you can take him up top and hit a big play on him. You know that's coming.
Again, that tight end, Brevin Jordan, to the left side of the line. This is the farthest down the field Miami's been. Are they taking that chance? No, they're setting up the screen. And it's well set up to the tight end, Jordan. Out of the open field to the 20, to the 10. Jordan tackled inside the 10. It'll be first and goal, Miami, 35-yard play.
That's a nice play call by offensive coordinator Dan Enos. Play action fake. Maybe it looks like you're going to take a deep shot, but you're just setting up the tight end screen to Brevin Jordan, who's one of the best tight ends in the country. He's going to be playing on Sundays very soon in the National Football League, and just let him go to work. He's been quiet this entire game, but he comes up with a timely play at a critical situation.
I mean, Miami fans, at the same time they watch that play, they're cheering, hey, big play, good call, way to go. Can we please get that guy the ball more often?
Absolutely.
That would be a good objective, I think, for the Hurricanes offense. He's not on the field here. They're going to hand it off. Harris, right side running. Harris got to the corner, inside the 5, close to the 2.
Now we're going to see if Virginia and their defense can go ahead and fortify here down here close to the goal line the same way Miami's defense has done. This is where, again, this is cerebral football. This is smart football down here because everything happens quickly. You have no time for mistakes. Execution is the premium down here. And usually the best defenses are the defenses that have a high degree of football. And let's just see if Virginia can answer the bell.
Second and goal. First time they've been in this part of the field. First time they've been in Virginia territory since their opening drive of the game. Mallory and Jordan both tight ends, and in fact a third tight end on the right side. They're going to throw it to the opposite side. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Osborne.
What a great set of shifts and kind of deployment of personnel to make them think, hey, we might be running it here. We have some heavy personnel on the football field, some extra tight ends. Really, we're just trying to see if you are in man-to-man coverage. And then we're going to go to our hot wide receiver, KJ Osborne, one-on-one. Except this time, he was going up against Nick Grant. He beat him. He had him open, just missed it.
That close.
You got to love the chess match down here, and the chess match that's going on right now between Dan Enos and Nick Howell. This is really fun football. I know the score's only 7-6, but this is really where games are won and lost.
Third and goal. Jordan in motion. They're going to hand it off to their tight end, and that, despite the best effort of Brevin Jordan, did not work. So when Miami fans were saying, can we get the ball to Brevin Jordan? I don't think that's the way they dreamed it up. Zane Zandier with the tackle. It's 4th and goal, and the field goal team is coming out on the field.
As soon as they got down here, that's exactly what we asked. Can Virginia's defense answer the bell the same way Miami's defense has? And here, you're trying to run a little fly sweep here with Brevin Jordan. Just hand it off and see if you can get around the corner. And look, that's just not a recipe for success against a team that's that fast and that athletic like the Virginia Cavaliers defense is. Get the ball going north and south if you're going to run it.
This is the first career field goal attempt for Turner Davidson, and he kicks it through. The field goal unit just has been awful for Miami, so they've changed. The sophomore Turner Davidson is doing the kicking, and he gets the Hurricanes 3 points.
Yeah, look, this is going to be a tightly contested game. Manny Diaz's defense has answered the bell. He would like to have had 7 right there instead of kicking a field goal, but look, he's happy right now because his team is showing the kind of fight that they showed at the end of the last game.
Second time, but they got 3, and Turner Davidson, the walk-on sophomore kicker. We had no idea he was going to be the place kicker. They didn't tell us. They may not have told anybody.
Well, hey, just look at him. He's big man on campus tonight. They win this football game. You see him. You guys are having a good time over there. You know, see, that's what's fun about college sports right here. Just a bunch of kids playing the game that they love. Great stadium, great atmosphere.
And a kid who had never had a chance. I know it's just an extra point and a short field goal, but Miami's missed a bunch of those this year. Look out. Here goes the return man, Joe Reed, to midfield. midfield and beyond. Still going. Joe Reed all the way down to the 30 and inside the 30.
Are you shocked? We watched it before the game even started. Joe Reed, one of the best kick returners in college football. He had a 100-yarder already for a touchdown this year against William & Mary. And a lot of times, look, it's a total team effort here as far as the blocking and how it's set up. And it usually opens up for you like the Red Sea. And it does right there. And all you have to do is just read it out and run. And that's a momentum changer for you. That's exactly what they needed in this situation where they're having a tough time putting the ball in the end zone.
The kicker, Bubba Baxa, at least slowed him down. Christian Williams was the guy who saved the touchdown, but it was still 72 yards all the way down inside the 28 of Miami. Perkins will throw, and he fit it in there. But was the catch made cleanly? Yes, it was. Just inside the 10, down to the 9. That's Brissett. It's going to be 1st and goal if the catch was a good one.
Yeah, Bryce could have thrown this even sooner. And Brissett, I think he's bobbling it right there. I think that's going to be overturned. I don't think he double catches it right there.
The previous play is under review.
I think you're right. He ultimately caught it, but I don't think he had control and possession established in bounds. By the time he had full control, he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Bryce saw him late. He was open. He was open earlier in the down right there. If he could have put it on him quicker, he would have had a chance maybe to make a move on the safety and turn that ball upfield for a touchdown.
I guess there's a chance if they ruled that as he snatched it on that second grab, maybe there's a chance that he had possession with the foot in bounds. But they're taking a look. I think you're right. That's a big call. It'll be 1st and goal Virginia if the play stands. If not, it'll be 2nd and 10. Back outside the 25 with Virginia's field goal team shaky tonight. Big deep breath for the head coach in his 4th year, who has transformed this program, and he deserves a lot of credit for it. But this is a huge game for Virginia and Bronco Mendenhall, one of the biggest that he has had since coming to Charlottesville. He's trying to get early word about what the call is. I think they're saying it's going to be overturned. Well, you spotted it right away, and the point you made was a really good one. The ball should have been there earlier.
After further review, the receiver did not gain possession until he was out of bounds. Incomplete pass. 2nd down. Clock operator, please set the game clock to 9 minutes 49 seconds. 9:49.
I think one thing that's become clear, though, Dave, is that the Virginia wide receivers are winning the one-on-one battles out here. And I know it's tempting. We can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again as a play caller, but maybe you can, because these guys have proven they're up to the challenge right now. Just come up with ways to get these guys outside the numbers one-on-one against Miami's DBs.
2nd down and 10. That's Joe Reed in motion. Perkins flush to his right, looking downfield. Lance, he's going to throw, and incomplete. He just could not get it to the tight end, Tanner Cowley.
You see Bryce Perkins running for his life, and on this drive, he's going to be without his leading receiver coming into this evening, Hassis Dubois. He's out right now. Trainer's working on his right shoulder. So this is a big loss during this critical drive for the Cavaliers.
So we know they went through the concussion protocol. Maybe on that same hit, the shoulder was jarred as well.
Yeah, it just means that Brissett's going to have to play big, and they're going to have to figure out a way to get the ball to 2. If you're Miami's defense, you also know they're going to try and get it to him. That's the chess match. That's the challenge.
3rd and 10. Just a 3-man rush, and Perkins takes off. Perkins dancing, falling forward. I think he got there.
That's a big-time scramble right there. That's just a playmaker refusing to be denied. And just putting his athletic ability to work. And this is something that Bronco Mendenhall talked about. Sometimes I need you to be a runner. I just need you to be an athlete. Forget staying in the pocket. You have to make a play for us to win the ball game, and those are the kind of plays he's talking about.
So now it's 1st and 10 for Virginia. The clock continues to move. The ultimate game of offensive frustration in this part of the field for the Cavaliers. But still a chance for the touchdown to take the lead. The handoff, and just nowhere to go. Foul Papa stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Been a Virginia offense incapable this part of the field. It's also been a swarming, hard-playing Miami defense. Those were not adjectives used to describe the Hurricanes last week. They have played so much better tonight on this side of the ball. Tight end Cowley comes back into the backfield alongside Perkins. The throw, that one is incomplete, knocked away. Trying to get it to Joe Reed. Robert Knowles was there to make the play.
That's a tremendous job by Robert Knowles on that little pivot route, little option route. You saw Joe Reed try to fake him inside, and then he spun and broke it back outside, and you saw Robert Knowles close like a lightning bolt. Shot his hands, dislodged the ball from him. That's textbook defensive back play.
And I think he's the guy basically who's taking the snaps with Amari Carter and ejected from the game and targeting. Another third down. Gregory Rousseau get to the quarterback. He has been a menace for Miami's defense. Perkins with pressure coming, and Perkins gets away, but now the ball's on the ground. Miami forces the fumble. Perkins somehow got it back. It was Rousseau who did swat the ball away. Man, is he playing a heck of a game. And now with a Virginia lineman down on the turf, they're going to try a long field goal.
Officials timeout for injury.
Ryan Swoboda, the sophomore left tackle, who's moved to both sides of the line, I think, in this game. That was a loss of 10 yards on the play. It makes the field goal a lot tougher. Perkins got away once, but not from Rousseau, who with his helmet, I think, basically knocked that ball away. Perkins did well. Did the officials miss a face mask? Yeah, they definitely did. Wow.
Real obvious ones, too.
How do you miss those two? Now, maybe you could say they've balanced out, although Virginia would argue this one in even more important situation.
Unfortunately, it shouldn't be a game of balancing out. You just, I mean, and I get your point, Dave, trust me. But if you just got to call it like you see it, if you don't owe another team a missed call for the other team, I mean, that's as plain as day. And I'll tell you this, the Miami defensive line, they're saying, hey, Virginia, you think you can rush the passer? We've got some guys on our side that are hunters, too. Well, Don Garvin is a good one.
And now, Ryan Delaney's got a good leg, highly recruited kicker. He's done an overall good job this year, but this one from 44, he's had one short one blocked. He's had one short one flying off the upright and go through. This one from 44 yards out to get Virginia back within a point. Snap, hold, kick on the way, and that one, wouldn't you know, is right down the middle. It's good. He doesn't like kicking them from close range. Ryan Delaney with a big kick.
He said, how do you like that, Dave Fleming?
I like it just fine. 10-9 Hurricanes, fourth quarter. Times for this proud Miami Hurricanes program. The Hurricanes are playing hard tonight and clinging to a one-point lead. Their defense in the red zone has been spectacular. The kickoff is through the end zone for a touchback. Well, Miami gets the ball back tomorrow, Saturday, in the Big Ten. Number 10 Penn State, their undefeated record is very much on the line against number 17 Iowa under the lights at Kinnick. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. Penn State looks to be a legitimate contender in the Big Ten and otherwise, but that will not be easy for the Nittany Lions. Kosi Perry and Miami had their best drive since the early minutes of the game. Last time they had the ball. They start at their own 25-yard line. First and 10, 7:39 on the clock. And a pass with a blocker out there complete for the catch and run outside the 30. Mike Harley for a nice first down gain.
Nice safe bubble screen. Get him out there on the perimeter. Let Harley try and make you miss. See if he can pick up positive yardage. Put him in a nice second and short situation. Nice, efficient football play. See if we can get the chains moving. Let the clock run a little bit.
First start of the year for Kosi Perry. He's not been spectacular statistically. I think he's generally played pretty well. He's missed a couple chances for big plays. with some overthrows. Going to hand the ball off to DJ Dallas, right side running, spins through a tackle and got right there. I think he got the first down. Nice run, DJ Dallas. Every first down, that clock keeps moving.
Question. Such a tough run by DJ Dallas, someone who you just have to respect the style of football that he plays. He's produced big plays when he's been given the ball. Even when they've been losing football games, he has produced. His average per carry isn't necessarily spectacular in this football game, but he's made some key plays, and he is a true competitor.
Junior from Brunswick, Georgia. Perry throws. That one is juggled, but caught ultimately on a broken tackle. Nice play by Mike Harley once again, the junior from Fort Lauderdale. Right near the first down mark. They're going to spot him a little bit short.
Limiting yards after the catch. It's something that Virginia has had some problems with. He creeps up on him once in a while, and see in this kind of situation right there, I mean, Nick Grant just got to sink his hips a little bit more and wrap up and hold on. Because there he turns what would be a very good defensive play into a good play for the offense, where now they're in second and short. Now they got the entire play call sheet at their disposal.
Yeah, that was another example of one of those plays where the receiver lowers his head.
Yeah.
Nick might have been worried about a targeting
Absolutely.
call. They hand the ball off Dallas straight ahead. First down Miami outside the 45. So back-to-back first downs, eating some clock. Down to 5.5 to go. The ACC is a league that is full of talented running backs. You can make the case more good running backs in the ACC than any conference in the country. A.J. Dillon, Cam Akers has been a workhorse for the Seminoles. Travis Etienne, one of the most talented players in the country. He's 5th in the ACC so far in rushing yards. DJ Dallas, by the numbers, the 6th most productive running back in this league. That's a lot of talent at one spot.
Absolutely.
He's deep and all alone in the backfield. Perry under center. They'll throw the ball out to the right flat, and another man missed. Off to the races, tripped up just barely. Mark Pope was turning on the Jets, and he saw the end zone in front. A touchdown-saving tackle made there by Virginia.
Yeah, Joey Blunt absolutely saved the touchdown right there, because once again, it's Nick Grant one-on-one out here on the perimeter, and this time against Mark Pope. And he misses the tackle again, and those yards after the catch, those are the yards that usually games turn on. And right now, these corners for Virginia, they're going to have to step up. And you can see defensive coordinator Nick Howell right there. That's exactly what he's talking about. You just got to tackle, get guys on the ground.
And remember, they're playing without Bryce Hall, their best player on defense, their best defensive back, one of the best in the country. DJ Dallas makes a move. Dallas inside the 25. So the running game starting to come to life for the Hurricanes, and the clock continues to roll. We are down close to 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, this is a good drive by Miami. Slow, methodical, take some time off the play clock. Don't be in any hurry as far as running the plays. And just getting real efficient yardage. Real efficient yardage. Good chunk plays.
They've only run 6 plays, but they've taken almost 4 minutes off the clock. By the time they snap the ball, it will be 4 minutes. So that's a good job with the 4-minute or whatever you want to call it offense for the Hurricanes.
You see where they're snapping the ball inside of 5 seconds.
Smart. Perry, handoff. Dallas, first down and more. DJ Dallas inside the 10, and he spins down to the 5, and even a yard farther than that, it's first and goal. 17 more yards on the ground.
Textbook. Absolute textbook by Dan Enos, the play caller, as far as play variety and then execution. That young offensive line right now just kind of imposing its will. You know, fatigue starts to become a factor. You're down here in this heat. It's a good job of just covering bodies up and then just letting DJ Dallas use his natural running instincts to find a crease and then accelerate.
So it's first and goal Miami. They want to score, but they want to take some time. Virginia thought that was an illegal shift, and it was not. Play fake. Perry going to throw the ball. Perry gets hit hard. My goodness. He hangs on to the ball. He's upset. He was trying to buy a little extra time. Now Bronco Mendenhall sprints out onto the field.
Timeout. Virginia. Their second.
So you got to save that time. Miami knocking on the door. Timeout. Will be back in 30 seconds. Miami desperate for their first ACC win 10-9. The Hurricanes grinding down the clock. They've moved it for 5 minutes. It's 2nd and goal outside the 5 at the 6 for the Hurricanes, leading by a point. Josie Perry, the redshirt sophomore, first start of the year for Perry. From the shotgun, Dallas alongside, and Perry's going to run. Wow. Josie Perry inside the 5. He'll be stopped there, and Virginia's going to use their final timeout to stop the clock. So it'll be 3rd and goal. I don't know about that one. It's very important for Miami to do whatever they can to get this ball in the end zone, because that won't put the game away necessarily, but that increases their chances dramatically if they can get it there. The ACC Network, your home for more ACC sports. Visit getaccn.com to check for providers in your area. If you don't see yours listed, contact them to demand they carry the ACC Network. You know, I do want to point one thing out, Lewis, here.
Yep.
I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. If Miami could get the ball in the end zone, Manny Diaz is one of the coaches in America who talks a lot about analytics, about when to go for 2, about when to be risky with that, and about how the math says that there are lots of times where you go for 2. Now, if you get 6 points here, you lead by 7.
Yep.
If you kick the extra point, you protect the tie, even with a touchdown and 2-point conversion. If you go for 2, you basically put the game away. It would not be impossible for Miami to think about going for 2 if they get it in the end zone here. But first things first.
Yeah, I wonder what they say. I wonder what the chances say of you being successful on a 2-point conversion down here. That would be tricky. It'd be interesting to see what kind of theory they would put to use here. Let's just see if they can get it in the end zone first.
That's the big question. 3rd and goal. You got Dallas and you got Harley in the backfield. They're throwing it again. Perry now will run for it. Perry, touchdown! And they're sending the kicker out on the field.
What do we talk about at the top of the broadcast? What does N'Kosi Perry bring to this football team that Jaron Williams brings as well, but not of the same caliber that N'Kosi does? The off-schedule, second reaction, make something happen type of plays. And here it is right here. Just weaving his way through traffic, getting physical there at the goal line to make sure he gets it in.
Extra point, a big one, up and good. So now you got an 8-point lead for the Hurricanes, and that means Virginia with no timeouts and 2:31 on the back here. They could use a big return from their special team star Joe Reed in the end zone. He is going to bring it out and try for one. Reed hurdles a would-be tackler, and that's not going to produce the big return. So the Miami defense, which has been so stout in this game, a chance for one last stop.
And they have made tremendous plays. Here you see him rushing with lane disciplines, keeping Bryce Perkins bottled up. You see him here, tremendous penetration by Gregory Rousseau. Great play by Al Blades down there defending the back shoulder fade. Jonathan Ford punching the ball out. And then here, just running down Bryce Perkins on the perimeter. Gervin Hall, tremendous job. And then again, Jonathan Gervin coming around the edge. He has nowhere to go. But they played as good as you can possibly play, especially in critical moments.
4 sacks, more quarterback hits. Perkins whistles one in there for a completion. And out of bounds. Terrell Jana will stop the clock. It was going to stop on the first down anyway. We're outside of 2 minutes, so they get the ball placed, and Virginia's got to still have some urgency. Remember, they have no timeouts. The clock is already winding. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And you gotta play fast. That took a long time. Perkins running, and especially when the result of the play is that. Now you'll take the 8 yards, but the slide, it's not a first down. The clock runs. We're under 1:45 now. I mean, Virginia cannot waste any time. They still have 60 yards to go. 2nd down and 1. Perkins throws incomplete. Well, I don't know if he thought the official was one of his receivers. Russo was right in his face. It'll be 3rd down. Well, Miami, this would be a big win for the Hurricanes in so many ways. That is almost impossible to believe. This program, this history,
had a lot of great players come out of this program. And there's some young men right now trying to make their name. And this is a moment, these are the kind of moments that you make your name. Come up with a big stop and seal this win.
3rd and 1. Perkins sprints right. Perkins will get the first down, and then he's going to go out of bounds. So that will stop the clock, and Virginia can be a little more deliberate now. They get the first down, and he can reset for the offensive play call with under 2 minutes to go, 1:25. Manny Diaz, his program needs a win so badly. Four-man rush. Perkins buys time. Perkins will throw the ball away. Well, you avoid the loss, and he avoids the grounding. He got outside the tackle box, but that again, that took a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, Miami's defense is doing a nice job in the back end with 2 safeties high of making sure they keep everything in front of them. And if the wide receivers don't win on their initial move, I mean, they're not doing a good job of working back to Bryce Perkins and helping him out. And that's why you're seeing him just drift and drift and drift. And the clock just keeps ticking and ticking and ticking. They're going to have to come up with something better than that if they want to move this ball down the field.
2nd and 10. Perkins steps up. Bryce Perkins dumps it short. The tight end with the catch, and he didn't go out of bounds. What in the world is Tanner Cowley doing? You got to go out of bounds. The clock doesn't stop, and that's just a huge
mistake. They got to get the ball down the field, and Miami's just not letting them. And they're doing a great job of playing situational football here.
3rd and 4, 50 seconds on the clock. Perkins throws. That's a first down. That will stop the clock into Miami territory. Not deep down the field, but it's a positive gain for the Cavaliers. Still clinging to some life. 45 seconds to go, and Perkins is going to snap the ball and kill the clock. But it might be that Miami moved a little bit or was offsides.
Actually, they're trying to run somebody onto the field.
Yeah, Nesta Silvera couldn't get out there, or couldn't get off, one or the other.
Offside. Defense. Number 1. 5-yard penalty. Still. First down. The game clock will start on the snap.
It does save it down. Now with the time, I'm not sure it really matters. Well, Silvera's not even close.
He was asking to come off the field. He's gassed. And they didn't see him. And then he tried to get back on sides and couldn't.
So it's 1st and 5 for Perkins and Virginia. 43 seconds to go. They need a touchdown at a 2-point conversion. No timeouts. Pressure comes. Perkins, pump fake, he goes down. Well, the one thing you think is you can't take a sack, but Trajan Bandy was in there. Virginia's receivers are still down the field. Seconds ticking off the clock. They're back in midfield. Perkins takes a snap. Now you got to go downfield. Penalty flag thrown. Perkins on the move. Perkins will throw it toward the sideline. It's caught and out of bounds. We'll see what the penalty is. You're down to 13 seconds on the clock no matter what. Chapman with the catch.
Illegal shift. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still. 2nd down.
The clock is going to roll.
The game clock will start on the snap.
When the ball is snapped. So a 5-yard penalty wipes off the gain, and now you got a couple of Hail Mary chances essentially.
Yeah, they put themselves in a bind, that being Virginia's offense. They had to be pushing the ball down the field earlier. But Miami did a great job. Manny Diaz did a great job. Blake Baker playing 2 safeties high, keeping everything in front of them. These guys have played great situational football all night long, and they're doing it again.
Perkins steps up. He heaves one high in the air. This just a jump ball, essentially incomplete. Now there's still 4 seconds on the clock. Even on that play, Perkins couldn't get enough time to step into the throw. So he's got to figure out some way to buy a little time and get some forward momentum, because this one has to go to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, they put themselves behind the 8 ball already, Dave, and it's a situation where you got to tip your cap to Miami's defense. as this game has gone on, this pass rush has really ramped it up. They've got after the weakness of the Virginia offense. This is the offensive line, and their big guys up front. They've gotten after it. They've made life miserable for Bryce Perkins tonight.
Miami's going to call a timeout.
Miami, their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
And here's the message from Manny Diaz to his defense. Guys, there's been one really famous Hail Mary in Miami football history. Not on this field exactly, but in this town. And we don't want another one against us.
Yeah. Doug Flutie,
Stakes would be a little different, but still.
For sure.
4 seconds on the clock. This will be the last shot for Virginia, who in a lot of ways dominated this game. Time of possession, total yardage, scoring opportunities, but the Miami defense time and time again came up with stops.
Yep, they mastered red zone defense. It doesn't matter how many yards you fill up the stat sheet with, you keep them out of the end zone. That's the most important stat, scoring defense. And tonight, Miami is winning that battle.
So here we go. Last chance for the Cavaliers. Miami's going to send, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players back. 3 will rush the quarterback. So Perkins has to buy some time for his receivers to get downfield. Now he's got to step into it. He heaves it to the end zone. This is a good throw. It's tipped up, and it is incomplete. And the game comes to an end. A much-needed desperation win for the Miami Hurricanes. They got the job done.
Yeah, no question about it. Tip your cap to the defense. Tip your cap to Manny Diaz, Blake Baker. The defense has been under a lot of pressure. They showed up tonight. And tip your cap to N'Kosi Perry. This kid made plays when he needed to. Great win for Miami. Great win.
Big time. They needed it so badly. For our producer, Scott Matthews, Anthony DeMarco, our director, for Louis Riddick, for Paul Carcaterra, Dave Fleming saying so long here from Miami. Hurricanes 17, Virginia 9. Sports Center in 15 seconds.